Welcome everyone! Welcome to Baphomet Bible episode number 44. In this video, we're going to talk about present your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. Present your body as a sacrifice unto the Lord. It's cool when you start talking about the Bible and start really going into detail about sacrifices and bloody lambs and shit. I was talking about Christianity with an old man at the old folks home. And he fought in the war twice. He believes in Jesus. Just as much as anyone else believes in Jesus. He asked me, do I believe in heaven? And what do I believe what happens after you die? And I said, well, I don't remember what happened to me before I was born. And when I have a dream, sometimes I go to sleep, I lay my head on my pillow, and then immediately I wake back up. And I don't remember any of it. That possibly could be the way death is, where you just don't know, you just don't exist anymore. I don't know what happens after death because I haven't died. But I told him, he asked me, do I believe in God? And I said, well, the logical answer is yes, because I do believe that there is intelligence in this universe, and that we have brains in our head. We're intelligent fucking people, so there has to be some universal intelligence in the cosmos, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't have all the answers. Much of our history was deleted and the libraries were burned to the ground. So there's all these bits and pieces, and all that we can do is just piece everything together. And I can't see into the past what happened, but I could kind of take bits of information from here and there and try to figure it all out. And I don't got all the answers. I'm trying. I'm in this game of life with everybody else. But present your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. And I remember this man, he said, well, something about Jesus, and if I saw a man with a halo around his head, then I would listen to what he said. And he was also saying something about Jesus. They could nail him in his front yard. He would die for Jesus. They could put him up on the cross in his front yard. Why does everyone want to suffer for Jesus? Just programmed. We're all programmed to suffer for Jesus, and that this is a good thing because he suffered for us. There's people around the world, in Brazil, teenage girls that crawl through glass crying to Jesus because they want to suffer for him. don't know if my buddy's coming. His phone wasn't working. I'm supposed to move cars today. But suffering for Jesus. He said they could nail me up in the front yard and I'll bleed for Jesus. Why do you feel you have to suffer for Jesus? It's because you went to these churches and that's what they told you. And is that the truth? Well, I mean, Jesus said, pick up your cross, deny yourself, and follow me. And Jesus was going to get crucified. And if you followed him, Peter denied his ass because he didn't want to get crucified with Jesus. So if you pick up your cross, deny yourself, you're going to get crucified like Jesus because he is the truth. And anybody that's not of the truth is going to persecute you and hate on you. And the majority of people are in an ignorant state of mind. And they're in cults. They believe whatever their fucking pastor tells them. And just like Charles Manson or Jim Jones, people were following the leader and no one reads the Bible, no one cares what it says, they just believe whatever the fucking pastor tells them, and they're in cults just like anyone else. And these are the people that will persecute you when you bring forth the truth and when you tell them the truth and what's really going on. Present your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. And then there's the part where it says, it's changed in the modern Bibles. It says, I beat my body. I beat my body and I make it a slave. But the King James, it says, I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest by any means I should be discounted or something like that. So you're offering your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. People believe that they should suffer and that this suffering is a good thing. Isn't it fascinating that all these people believe that suffering is good and guilt is a virtue, and everyone is afraid and has all this fear about hell and that they're going to hell when they die. They don't know what happens when they die. That's what's really going on in their mind, but the fear that's imposed upon them, hell is always put upon you to make you afraid. Isn't it fascinating that there's churches on every fucking corner and all these people want to suffer for Jesus and they have all this guilt? Maybe we're just being fucked with. That's a perfect state of mind to put somebody in, to fuck them over, to control him, to manipulate him and get into his mind and make him a slave. That would be the perfect mindset. Just program him with Christianity, and he'll feel all guilty and shitty, and you can tell him that he's dirt. Or you can just go to one of these churches on any corner that don't believe the Bible and they don't preach it, and they'll just tell you whatever you want to hear and just try to get money from you. Because there's really two gospels. There's one that people will preach it. Oh, there's many fucking gospels. Everyone just preaches whatever the fuck they want because no one really gives a shit. But the people that do preach the Bible preach the fucked up shit. And then once you start hearing the fucked up shit, you're like, yeah, I'm on the winning side. I'm with the real fucking believers. And all these other people, they don't believe shit. Because I'm with the real motherfuckers. This is how we roll. We roll with the King James, bitch. Although I don't know if I'm moving cars today or not. Well, offer your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. And God told Abraham to go upon the mountain and sacrifice your son. And then right when Abraham was ready to plunge that knife into his son's chest, God told him, "Stop, Abraham, still your hand. Here, just offer up the fucking lamb or the goat, or most likely it was a lamb or a sheep or something. That's what Abraham slaughtered and offered up as a burnt sacrifice. Burnt sacrifices and bloody lambs, and all these people are afraid and say, well, I don't want to go to hell when I die. I don't want to go to hell when I die. Well, I don't want to go to fucking hell either. No one wants to go to hell and then burn forever. You're out of your fucking mind. Let's get the record straight right now. I don't want to go to a literal hell and fucking burn forever. That would suck. But then, like, as it looks right now, well, the churches would condemn me like I'm the fucking heretic. Like, I'm the bad one. Even though I believe the truth and I believe in the real Jesus. You just have to test the spirits, and whatever is good, that is of the light. And whatever's evil, if it's telling you to fucking cut yourself and put the blood all over, well, then that would be darkness. And you don't want to get too much fucking darkness, because then you'll start going crazy. So you gotta balance the two. And I'm not gonna be a fucking hypocrite and say I don't have any darkness in me, because I'm going to balance it. And I'm not going to say I have too much light. It just completely, like, the fucking balance. You need to keep the light and the darkness completely level and balance that shit. And be a hit, and don't be a fucking hypocrite. And then say, like, oh, well, I'm better than other people, and condemning other fucking people by what they're doing. And you have the darkness in you just like anybody else. So that's what makes people a hypocrite, when they condemn other people and they still have darkness in their own soul. And the guy asked me, he's like, do you believe that you have a soul or a spirit? And I'm like, well, I don't fucking know. How the fuck should I know if I have a soul or a spirit or not? When I go to bed, like, sometimes my spirit goes out of my fucking body and I can walk around and go through walls and shit. But maybe that is all going on in my mind, and my brain is the thing that is creating everything. But then the brain could also be tying into some spiritual shit. So that's why we gotta be a scientist and actually do these experiments and see what kind of results we get when we do certain things. And then you take notes. You gotta record it. I don't think I'm moving cars today. I don't know. I'm ready. If my buddy shows up, I'm going. We're going to make videos while we're driving the fucking cars. And I was just thinking there has to be like a key word, like, during the video. Like the word cocksucker. And then you would have to, and then in the comments, people will be like, I'll ask people, well, whoever guesses what the key word is of this video, you get $5. So then all these people will start commenting, and then the key word of the video will be like cocksucker. And then like me and my fucking friend will be joking around like, yeah, that girl's a real cocksucker. And then like the fans seeing the video will be like, that's the key word, that's the word. And then you win a prize. And that will bring in traffic. You gotta hype people up. Give them some free shit. Give the people what they want. Free fucking shit. If you go to some event and set up a table with a bunch of free shit on it, all the people are going to come by and they're going to clean you out. Because people love free shit. And if you don't give people free shit, well, then most likely you're not going to get a sale. Because how are you going to attract people? Unless you're like performing real fucking magic and then levitating, people will be like, holy shit. And then you sell them something. You'll be like, hey, you want to know how to do this? You want to know how to levitate? You want to know how to be omnipotent? Well, I don't know. I don't think it's going down today. Offer your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. All these burnt fucking sacrifices, that's your body. Just fucking offer that shit up and then put it under subjection and get the shit in order. No fucking fornicating. No. Know this, know that. You can't do shit. So you just have to obey and get in line and shut your fucking face and get with the program that everyone else is doing. And then you're going to get what everyone else is getting, and that's bullshit. And I got tired of just getting bullshit all the time, so I got to escape and then have different thoughts, different from the majority of people. Because from my perspective, well, put it this way. The majority rules. There is a majority vote who is insane or who is a nutcase. The majority is the one that votes on it. But what if the majority was actually the crazy ones? They were the ones that were under mind control, bunch of fucking zombies, watching TV, getting programmed, and believing whatever the fuck they're told. Then the majority becomes the ones that are insane. So it kind of looks like they're pointing the finger at these people that are different, that are entrepreneurs, that are free thinkers, saying that people like me, that I'm crazy. Well, then I say that they're fucking crazy. They're the ones. The majority of people are watching Fox News, watching TV, reading the newspaper, believing whatever they're told, going to church every Sunday or going to Mass and doing their rosary or going and hearing the sermon and then repenting and getting your shit straight and then going out into the jungle for the whole week and then going back to church and then doing it again. And it's a constant program and a game that everyone's playing. And it makes everybody, it just puts people in an irrational state of mind. Especially when you get a shitty interpretation of the Bible and you think that everything really fucking happened. And then you can't tell the difference between fact and fiction. Yeah, fiction is what's not real, right? So you can't tell the difference between a myth and what the reality is. And it's like living in Disneyland. You think that donkeys talk, and then you gotta believe the story of Adam and Eve, because if you don't, then you end up going to hell, because then you don't believe the Bible literally. But who made up those fucking rules? That say that you have to literally believe the whole fucking Bible. Well, I say that I do believe the Bible, but it's a whole metaphor. It's allegory. It's in a parable. None of it physically happened. There wasn't a man who got eaten by a whale, and then he lived in the belly of the whale. You know, sort of like the story of Pinocchio, how Pinocchio got eaten by the whale. There wasn't a man named Noah, and he wasn't eaten by the whale. And the story of Jesus, well, it's just so blasphemous to say that it didn't physically happen. You sound like such a fucking heretic, because the way that I got programmed throughout my life, I went to this church shit my whole entire life. But if you take the story of Jesus, it's symbolic. It's a metaphor. This shit didn't fucking happen. Uh-oh. Didn't fucking happen. So then what if you sit there and say that the whole Bible didn't happen? That it's a myth? That it's a metaphor? Could you still take it for what it is, and then it will change your life, and you can look at it from a different perspective, and then you don't believe all this crazy shit really happened? It's speaking to you on a spiritual level, and it's teaching you spiritual truths in a different way, in a parable, and it's speaking in allegories and comparing things. And if you can just put away a physical interpretation and just being fearful, just saying that, well, Jesus didn't exist. He was never nailed to the cross, and he didn't die, and he wasn't physically buried and then rose from the dead. Possibly. Well then, but then I don't know. I don't know if Jesus existed or not. Like, he could have been killed, but then did he perform all the miracles? Or was that a myth that was written about him? I don't fucking know, because I wasn't around when it happened. But then he could have been killed, and then he didn't come back. You don't know what happened. Or the guy didn't even exist at all. And it's just a myth about a mythological character that was based upon other people or myths like Zeus and Mithra. See, I don't fucking know, but I don't want to get fucked with and then have people in my mind programming me with some crazy shit. And it's almost like people can be laughing behind your back that we're actually falling for it, and everyone's getting in line and obeying and doing whatever they're told, because you take the child when it's young and then you begin to teach it this crazy shit and putting all these limiting beliefs in his mind, and then when he gets older, you don't really question it. You just end up where you're at. And then you start realizing that something is wrong, because there's always going to be a master, somebody that's reigning over you, because that's the way that the system is set up at the moment. Because God is the master, the monarch, the king, ruling over your life. So then you have other people ruling over you in your life, playing the figure of God. Because that's what their beliefs are. And everyone's getting programmed the fuck out of. So then as when you're a child, you get programmed, you have to get in line, and you're just obeying someone, which is programming your mind. So that's what happens. They get the children when they're young, and you begin to program their mind with Christianity. And you can tell the child anything. And really, when you break down what the beliefs in Christianity are, if you really take it literal and you believe the shit really happened, well, it's fucking crazy. Crazy shit happened in the Bible. And you have to really distinguish what is reality and what a myth or a fable is. But then it really isn't blasphemous saying that the Bible is a fable. Like, there shouldn't even be any argument. People should just know this, that yeah, the Bible is a fable, it's a myth, and then read it and then believe every word. It wouldn't be wrong to look at it as a myth, but then read it as literature and understand what it really is. When you look at it from a spiritual perspective, it could benefit your life. But when you look at it from a physical perspective, you'll be wanting to put people to death and stone them and set them on fire and just crazy fucking shit. Because if you read the Old Testament, it's all about conquering your enemies. And there is the children of the Lord. Anyone that is not the children of the Lord is to be put to death. And we're going to stone them. And that's where you get Leviticus 20 verse 11, where it says to stone the homos. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them. And that verse, see, isn't it amazing how I could just quote the Bible verses? So that's what the Bible's really about. It's about putting people to death. If you go into the Old Testament, but then Jesus forgave us, but then we're still going to condemn people for what they're doing, and we're going to want to stone them and have all this hate built up. It gives you a reason to hate on people, unless you go to a retard church, and then everyone is just, oh, love, 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 love. Let's just give $100 a week. Duh. And I can't put up with it. I can't go to church and be around a bunch of unspiritual people that don't give a shit. Like, honestly, I've been going to church for a while, and then it seems like every time I go, I feel like I'm better than everybody. Honestly, I feel like I'm so much better than everyone, and I'm like, why am I even here? Like, these people are fucking losers. And they're unspiritual. They don't give a shit. Why would I even... But then it was a lesson for me. Now I'm just not going to go back. So throughout life you learn lessons, and then you come to your senses, and then you realize, what the fuck was I doing? Like, I was wasting my time. I'm not going to waste my time anymore. I'm going to utilize every single second of it. And I'm going to do things that actually matter in the world, that are going to last. And something that is going to be special and last forever. That's what the goal is. To create the artwork and to do something amazing. Offer your body as a sacrifice unto the Lord. So that gets your mind just thinking about it. It's all about the Lord. Your life does not even belong to you. So it's taken away all your decisions. Everything that you do is supposed to be based upon what the Lord wants. So that really gives people a chance to fuck with you if you don't know the Bible and you're believing that the Lord is like out there, and the Lord, you belong to him, you belong to that ruler, when in fact it's talking about ruling in your fucking mind. Like, you are the Lord. Your mind is powerful, and it's telling you to come to your senses and to believe in yourself. But that's the spiritual interpretation. If you go to church, they're going to use it against you and tell you, you got to offer your body to the fucking Lord in the sky. The fucking Lord up there. And there isn't any Lord up there. It's talking about to get your fucking mind under control. And to balance that fucking darkness and the light. And I'm still working on balancing it. And that's why you need to just come to your senses at this moment right now. And it can happen like that. Or you can take some time and think, well, it's going to take me time to come to my senses. But you can actually do it right now. And you can reach that level of godhood, or whatever you want to call it, spiritual awakening. It can happen at the moment. And really, a spiritual awakening for me, I really believe it happens all the time. Like, you reach different levels. Because I'll be going through life and having a spiritual awakening, and then I'll get wrapped up in some bullshit, and then I'll forget. And then I'll smoke a little bit, and I'll be like, holy shit, why was I thinking so fucking stupid? I'm like, I know exactly what to do with my life now, and I know what way to go. And then that's like a spiritual awakening right there. You just come to your senses and think like, holy shit. All the pieces are falling into place. But that's what we got to do. We got to put the pieces in the place with anything. In our own self, studying ourself, how we respond to certain situations. And then we have to take the outside world and then put some force out there and then see what comes back at us. And then document everything. And then this can be a science experiment. And since so many people are on bullshit and they don't want to tell us the truth, we need to perform our own experiments and find out how the world really works. And in order to do that, you got to put some work in. You need to put some influence out there. And then whatever you get back is the result. So after a few times doing that, you begin seeing, oh, okay, so this is how the world works. You write that down. You write down the whole fucking process. And then that is how you record it, and you document something that you truly observed. And you could truly say, this is how it works. Like, for example, if I was to pull some tarot cards, what card is going to come up? Is there any science to this? Is it completely random? Or is there a spirit that is enacting on us right now? That is determining what card to pick, because every picture on the card, and even on the backs, it could be considered a spirit. But are the spirits enacting on us right now? And what card are we going to pick? Offer your body unto the Lord as a living sacrifice. Knight of Swords. Let's pull two. Offer your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. Now, I believe that we should be trusting in ourselves. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to get anything done in your life. If you're always trying to offer your body onto the Lord, and you don't know who the Lord is because you're going to church, and they're lying to you, they're giving you a false Lord. Oh, my buddy ain't coming. So you go to church and they're giving you a false Lord. You don't know who the Lord is. Bring your mind into subjection. You are the Lord. And your mind is the temple. And when you enter within yourself, that is where, when you enter within the kingdom of God. And God is within you. So that's the only way to find Him. Fuck everybody else. Fuck all their rituals and all this bullshit that they're doing. And enter within yourself, because you have all the answers. You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. If you really just shut your mind off and sit in the dark, clear your mind, be still, and then enter within, then you begin seeing things. You begin realizing certain things about your life, and that it really is the best way to learn, entering within and learning from yourself. If you get your own emotions down and you learn from yourself, then you're able to conquer any situation, because other people are not too different from you and me. We're all human beings. We all have these emotions, these feelings, these thoughts that run through our head. And if we can just analyze ourselves, then we can better understand other people. So number one, it really isn't about me. It's all about you. It's all about you. Because we are fucking selfish and we don't give a shit about other people. When it all comes down to it, it's all about us. And so many times when people are talking to you, they're just waiting for your mouth to stop so then they can talk about their stupid shit. That's what it's all about. It's all about me. It's all about me. So I need to overcome that, because in order to be successful, it can't be about me. It has to be about you. And if I could just come to my senses and realize that the human race are selfish fucking people, then I can understand that I need to talk in terms of what you want. And it's not about me or about my product, because fuck me and fuck my product, and who gives a shit about me? It's all about you and what you want. And I need to solve your problems. And what you're going through is probably what I'm going through. So I need to go into my mind and then understand my sufferings, my shortcomings, what makes me tick. And pretty much what that is how other people feel. And other people are going to vibe with that. And they're going to be like, hell yeah, Joy Richards fucking dead on. He knows exactly what's going on. And those are my people. People that are going through the same shit. Because if you're going through the same shit as somebody, well, you're going to be vibing with them automatically. And that's how you need to talk to people. You need to talk to people from a matter of what they want. It's not about what you want at all. It's not about me. It is not about Joy Richard. It is about what you want. And I am here to solve your problems. And by analyzing what's going on in my mind and how I feel within, then I can better understand you. And then I have to communicate to you that I'm going through the same bullshit. Or I went through this and I found a way out. And I have the answer. And I'm pretty sure that the answer is something with making a fucking funnel and marketing and how to talk to people correctly. Because all you have to do is make the fucking vibrations with your mouth and send them forth out into the internet. And then if you make the correct vibrations and do it right and just speaking the words just right in the right manner in your little microphone thing, what you're going to receive back is pure fucking gold. But you have to know a little thing or two about psychology and how to speak to people and to put them through a sales process and to get people to trust you and to begin liking you, following you, listening to what you're saying, offering free information. Free motherfucking information. Free motherfucking information. That's what you do. You offer free fucking information to the people in the beginning. Just free, good fucking content that changes people's lives, that they love. People are like, I love this video so much, I just beat off to it every fucking day. I just love Joy Richard. I love him so much. Oh man, I wish Joy Richard came out with toys with fucking bobbleheads so then I could buy one. That's what people are thinking. But that will come in the near future. Joy Richard bobbleheads and a whole clothing line. So you can show your love to Joy Richard and you can let people know that you're a part of the church. Offer your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. Thus saith the Lord. So your perspectives, first you need to know what the difference between reality is and a myth. And if you take the correct interpretation is pretty much to suffer. Offer yourself as a living sacrifice. Keep under your body. It's talking about, well, here's my interpretation, which doesn't mean shit. Well, you got to save your fucking money. Save your money, and that's going to be keeping under yourself because you're taught to be a consumer and to spend your fucking money every single day. But fuck Jimmy John's. You don't need to eat that sandwich today. You don't need to go to Starbucks and get coffee. You don't need to spend a fucking penny some days. And then just go around and then people will just give you food. Like at my job, people will just give me food and there's plenty. This is America. You can go a day or two without spending any money. And that's a good way to save. Because I've been realizing that my mind is programmed to consume. And just having a certain amount of money in the bank, I couldn't reach past a certain level because of this programming in my mind. So that has to go. And I have to keep under my body and then realize that, hey, I can't be spending my money on stupid shit all the time. I need to save some of that because that's what I'm going to invest in my future and in my business, and that's my only way to financial freedom and just not working for a boss and working for myself and getting paid for play. I need to save that fucking money so I can invest it, and when the opportunity comes, then I could jump on it right away and be successful when other people don't have money. Because many people are just living paycheck to paycheck. And when the opportunity comes, then you don't have shit. And then you can't invest it. But I'm going to save it. And you got to strategically plan this shit out. I gotta get this shit right. Save this fucking money. Break through this program. Keep under my body. And also realize that I can't just be going out getting drunk all the time and partying. Because that's what feels good. That's what we want to do. We want to eat and we want to fuck. And I have to keep under my body and then just get down to business and make this shit happen. And I can't be partying all the time because if I'm just eating and fucking, then I'm not going to be successful. It's going to become a distraction in my life. And then if I keep doing it all the time, it won't even be fun. Because it won't even be a treat. And you want it to be a treat because that's what makes it fun in the first place. Is when you're not doing it all the time. It's almost like when you're smoking all the time. It doesn't work. But then if you smoke like once a month, blows your fucking mind. And it's really worth it. And that would be the best thing to do. To actually use the experience to its full extent instead of just doing it all the time and then it's not special anymore. If you know what I mean. You want to keep it special. I like to get right up on you. Get nice and special here. So keep it special. Every day. And the shit you do. If you're drinking all the time, you feel like shit. But if you do it once a week, you keep it special. And then you keep under your body, and then you feel good. You actually get the full effect. If you're smoking all the time, nothing happens. But then if you do it once a week, and you keep under your body, then you get the full feeling. Then you feel good. You really experience life. And then it's worth it. Or you save your money. And then when the time comes, you can go on a vacation. Make some videos. And then work on your business. And then do something. You can actually travel. And once you get about $100,000, you can invest it in something. And then to begin seeing a return come in. And that would be nice. But in order to reach that point, you need to actually implement this fucking goal. And that's to save this fucking money and to accumulate and then invest in order to make more and then just move up in this shit like I'm just moving up in ranks. And in order to do that, I need to keep under my body and to get the shit in order. Because I can't be out there just partying all the time. Or just playing video games. Playing a South Park video game. It's not going to get me anywhere. I need to be learning. I need to be implementing the knowledge. And to actually send that shit back forth. To mix it up with different sources. Like I'm creating a potion. I'm taking information from this guy, information from here and there, from different people. I'm mixing it up in a certain manner, and then I'm repackaging it, and then sending it back forth over the internet, and then in the form of great information offered for free. And then once people recognize you after a few months and you keep talking to people every day, your notifications keep on popping up, then you can offer a product, offer a book that you just came out with. And it really is inspiring when people follow you. And then even when they say hi. When they say hi when you're making a video, it's really inspiring. And that can also inspire you to start writing. And these same people are the ones that will support you later down the road if you keep on making videos and believe in yourself, and then broadcast your true essence and who you really are out over the airwaves into the internet matrix zone. You could be a full-out magician online. And all this shit that is recorded, you could perform magic tricks on here. And it's all about what people see and what you tell them. And if you're trying to achieve a certain result, it really doesn't matter what you say, as long as you get the result that you desire. Or if you have other people's best interests at heart. The whole point is to really get them to achieve what they want. And like I said, fuck me, right? Fuck me. Fuck Jory Richard. It's not about me at all. It's about you. And I'm here to solve your problems and to help you and to offer you insight. And then I could do that by entering in my own mind and look at my struggles and my experiences and what happened in my life, and I can apply that and then talk about that in the videos and try to help other people. Maybe I fucked up and did some crazy shit, and I could tell people, hey, don't do that. Do this instead. But I'm on the internet marketing tip right now, and I need to focus and then develop the correct skills online in order to make a shitload of money. Because it's all about the money, right? You gotta get the fucking money. And people been fucking with me, telling me that I don't need the money. Well, guess what? I need the fucking money. And I shouldn't even be saying I need it. I should be saying I have the money, or I am the money. I am the money. I am Jory Richard. I am the money. I speak. Money falls from the sky. Anything that I tread upon and I step on and I step thereon, money appears in front of me. Money appears wherever I go. I'm Jory Richard, and I am made of money. Every word that I speak helps people. I render good service onto people. Online, on YouTube Live, people can ask any question that they want, and I answer it live on YouTube. How about that? And I got the best insight, and I got the best information, and I offer that freely to people. And my book is coming out in 2018, and it's going to be the shit, and it's going to teach you black magic. I'm just fucking with you. But you're exposed to offer your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. And if you go to church, you're going to get the wrong idea. Think that the Lord is in the sky. And then shut your fucking face. Get in line. You need to obey the Lord. The fucking Lord. The Lord this and the Lord that. And then I went to the resale shop. And then the Lord told me to give the lady a tract. Blah, 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 blah. The Lord. Oh. Sometimes you just get tired of hearing about the Lord. But you get the idea wrong when you think about God is in the sky, and then when you're broadcasting all your power and sending forth your power out that way and trusting in someone else to take care of everything, when you should be really taking care of your problems. You got to trust in yourself, and then just silence your mind for a second and enter within and get a realization of what's going on. And then go out there and conquer this shit. Conquer your fucking problems. But in order to do that, you have to come to your senses. You need to enter into your mind and still it for a second. Quit thinking. Just close your door for a second and tell everybody, fuck off. I need to get this shit right with myself. And then come to a realization and have a spiritual awakening. And then we can fly. And then we can fly like the eagles, right? Well, offer your body as a living sacrifice. And then they say that your body's not yours. It belongs unto the Lord. Like, your body belongs to the slave master. The guy that sits on the porch sipping tea while you're out there busting your fucking ass serving French fries and half slabs to people. And then he's like, yeah, oh, I'm drinking my fucking tea out here, my little crumpets. Yeah. I don't belong to myself. I belong to you. Like, I'm the fucking slave. Yeah. Let's call it what it is. But when you realize that you are the Lord, well then I belong unto myself, and I'm not supposed to worship anybody else, but trust in here, because I am one. I am the one. So I trust in here, and I realize who it's talking about when it's saying the Lord. And then I get the shit right. And then my power isn't just drained, and I'm not sending it forth to someone that's not even there. I'm sending it forth to where the kingdom really is. The kingdom was within me the whole entire time. So I'm really trusting in what I should have been trusting in the whole time. But instead I was listening to people's bullshit, and they were leading me astray. And it just kind of slowed me down for a while. But now I'm back on track. I know what I'm doing. I have control of my mind. And I have good information that I can apply and then share with other people. And I'm able to broadcast this shit and to actually get it done. To put in the effort and to get it done. I believe in myself. And I'm worthy of greatness, and I can overcome. I overcome and conquer any obstacle that is placed in front of me. Everything that we speak has to be in the present tense. Because if you're saying you're going to do something, or I can do something, you need to say that you're doing it at that moment. And then that programs your mind. Because we're always taught to be out of the present moment. To be thinking about the future. And if you notice, if you're always saying you're going to do something, then you're always thinking about the future. So when the fuck do you get it done? It never really happens. Because you're always going to do it. You need to do it at this moment. You need to get that shit done. Put in that action. Offer your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. So now we got the verse straight. We know what the fuck it's talking about. We know that the churches are lying to you and they're using the Bible in order to enslave you and to get the money off you, and then it just becomes a big business. Everyone believes different shit, and if you take it literal, you're going to believe some crazy shit, and then you're going to be irrational in many different areas of your life. But what we learned is that there is a difference between a literal, physical, that this shit really happened, and then it's a myth. It is a fable. It's a story that's being told. But that doesn't mean that there's no meaning in it. We could still extract good meaning, and we can really get the real story. So then we don't believe that it's about like cutting off foreskin off of like circumcising people with a fucking rock, because Abraham circumcised himself and he cut off the foreskin off of his dick. Abraham did that because God told him. Well, did that physically happen, or is this a parable? Is this a metaphor, an allegory? I say it's an allegory, because if you believe it physically happened, well then Abraham, that's some wild shit right there. And there's many stories in the Bible. You have to realize, well, did this shit really happen, or is it trying to tell me that it's a fable? And I'm exposed to, because in all these fables, it has a meaning, and you have to extract the meaning out of it. You could say that every story in the Bible is happening in my life right now. I'm experiencing it. It never physically happened, but it's playing out almost like a story in your life. And if you believe it happened thousands of years ago, well then you're missing what it's really trying to illustrate. So you got to pick up on the subtle things. What is really going on? And then balance it, be a scientist, and make your own decisions, because many people are on bullshit. And I need to analyze my mind and my beliefs, and then figure out, well, the shit that I'm believing, is it a lie or not? And then does it hold weight? Like, what is true and what is the darkness? And I need to balance this and then get it right. And I can't get whacked and then get out of order, because, and I'm not talking about like the government order putting stupid fucking laws on you that don't even matter. Petty laws that in one state it's legal, but other states it's not. And you can't park your car out in front of your house. Like stupid fucking laws. Like that kind of order is bullshit. You gotta realize that these are human beings you're dealing with, and by enforcing all this stupid bullshit, you're part of the problem. So, what was I even saying? The order, right? You need to balance the light and the dark, and then if you have too much light, you get all whacked out. And if you get too dark, then you get too fucking evil and dark and shit. So you need to balance it. You don't want to get too light, because then you'll be just smiling at people like a fucking weirdo. Right? You gotta balance it. You gotta get all the shit perfectly balanced. Well, I think I said enough. This is Baphomet Bible, episode number 44. Offer your body as a living sacrifice unto the Lord. Thank you for watching.